in color. The continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington, Patricia Morrow as Rita Harrington, James Douglas as Stephen Cord.
Stephen Cord could have had just about anything he asked of his grandfather, Martin Peyton. Stephen chose this house, the house on the hill, the Peyton house. Stephen moved in with his wife, Betty, across the corridor from Martin Peyton himself. But the Peyton house has never been just a residence. Martin Peyton has brought someone else into this ancient battleground, a young man named Lee Weber to serve as his chauffeur. A young man who would do anything to hurt Stephen Cord.
Mrs. Cord upstairs?
No, sir.
She's not at home?
Not yet, sir.
Well, has she called?
No, sir.
Stephen? Mary? Here, I'll take that.
I can manage, thank you.
No, it's too heavy for you, much too heavy. Besides, I know where it goes.
Well, thank you.
Weber, what do you think you're doing?
Well, I'm trying to turn my Eagle Scout badge.
Very funny.
How do you like your martinis? With an olive or an onion?
Get out of here.
Want it straight up or on the rocks?
Did you hear what I said? Lee?
Come on, Stephen, I want to fix you a drink.
I'll fix my own.
Yeah, but I've got a story to tell you. It's a special little story that needs a special little drink to wash it down with. You dig?
No, I don't dig. And I don't care about your special little story.
Even if my little story's about your own wife? You know, that wife of yours is really something else, Stephen. Really something else.
Get out of here.
I think it's about time us two gentlemen sat down and had a real long talk about her.
You're not going to talk about my wife now or ever. You have no business in here, Weber. Your duties begin and end with Mr. Peyton's car. Now put down that drink and get out of here.
I've got something to tell you about her, so you listen. Did I raise my voice, counselor? I'm sorry. You don't mind if I call you counselor, do you? It's my way of showing respect. But what I saw Mrs. Cord up to, you'd hardly call it respectable.
No, I said get out.
Temper, Mr. Cord. You're wasting Mr. Peyton's good booze. Come on, Mr. Cord, aren't you just a little bit curious about what I saw with my little brown eyes? Sure you are, right?
All right, Weber. Out with it.
That's more like it. Now, what I just happened to see, by accident, of course, was your little wife pilfering a little document out of a little safe upstairs in Mr. Payne's room.
What are you talking about?
You heard what I said. Your wife stole Mr. Payton's will.
You're lying.
Like maybe you didn't put her up to it.
Oh, I don't know what you're getting at, Weber. But if you spied on Mrs. Cord, even if you did see her take something from Mr. Peyton's safe, what makes you think it was his will?
Aha! Exhibit A. Just like in a real courtroom, huh, counselor? I'll tell you how I know. I recognized it. It was the same document that I put my signature on out there at the airport when that lawyer fella delivered it.
Kennerly.
That's what Mr. Payton calls him. William Kennerly.
Well, you certainly don't expect me to believe that story. What's your angle?
Well, you suit yourself. But are you sure you don't want to hear about the rest of it?
Get on with it.
Okay. After your wife took the will out of the safe, she put it in her purse. She came downstairs, made a phone call, then went outside and got in the car. So naturally, I thought I should follow her.
Oh, an obvious assumption.
Well, I figured somebody in this house has to look after Mr. Peyton's better interest.
And you were elected. Well, did you tail her?
Yeah. But first, I watched her outside the window over here. She was sitting out in the car reading the document. Then she dug out of the driveway like she was at Le Mans. You'll never guess where she wound up. I followed her to the mill. Doesn't take much to figure out who she was delivering it to, does it, Mr. Cord?
Everything you said is a lie, and you're not going to get away with it. I'm not your brother, and Mrs. Cord is not Sandy. You're out of your depth, Weber.
Don't count on it.
You'd better be prepared to repeat that ridiculous tale in front of Mrs. Cord and Mr. Peyton.
You ought to know by now, Mr. Cord, that you can't bluff me. When they get here, I'll be more than delighted to tell them what I saw. Now, what do you think about that, Counselor?
I think you've been telling a string of lies just for kicks.
Why don't we let Mr. Peyton judge that? Now, he's a pretty cagey cat. I'm sure he'll know who's telling the truth, me or your wife.
Upstairs.
Chandler?
I figured she'd come here after her class. I tried to talk her out of it, and I couldn't, and that's when I called you.
Well, what is this? What is she trying to do, Rita?
She's trying to find out about him, what he did before he married her aunt.
Why? Why now that she's legally free of him? Did she tell you something?
Yes, but
Well, come on. I mean, all right, suppose it was in confidence. She's in danger now.
she thinks you're in danger, you and the Carsons. Chandler said he'd hurt you if...
If what?
Nothing.
Rita.
If she tells everything she knows about Allison.
I knew it. I knew it was about Allison. All right, you go wait in your mother's. Go on. Go on, go on.
Is that the place? It would still take a lot of money.
Let's go, Rachel. Just a minute. Come on.
You're way the line, Doc. Not to mention breaking the law.
Take your hand down.
Tell him, Rachel. Tell him you came here of your own free will. You tell him you came here because you wanted to see me. Tell him. Now, you see, Doc? Everything's different now. Maybe you just didn't know that.
Now, you listen to me, Chandler, because I'm going to say this one more time. You stay away from her. You stay a mile away from her.
Maybe you don't hear so well, Doc. She came here. I didn't so much as give her a ring on the phone. She came here to see me. As long as she wants to see me, I ain't gonna do nothing to discourage it. Now, why don't you get out of here and leave us alone? You stay here, Rachel. You understand? We got a lot of things to talk over. A lot of plans. Remember? Rachel? You want me to trust you, huh? You're no good, Rachel. You hear me? You're no good.
Dr. Rossi, wait. You've got to listen. It's not what you think. I want to tell you why I came here.
I know why. If you think I'm pleased about it, you're mistaken. If you think Elliot would be pleased about it, you're wrong about that, too.
You know?
Yes, I do. It's to protect me and to protect him from Chandler, isn't it?
Well, yes, but I...
Never mind. Just get in the car.
You haven't given me a chance to explain.
I haven't given you a chance to be evasive again. Now, you know something more about Chandler, don't you?
Now I'm going to take you back to Elliot and Connie's house, and you're going to sit down and you're going to tell us everything about it. Look, I'll take the responsibility of telling Elliot and Connie myself what you know or what you suspect to know about Allison. Because it has to be done.
Dr. Rossi!
Rita! What are you doing wandering around here this time of night?
Oh, I'm not wandering.
Oh, okay, then, strolling. Sauntering.
Well, actually, I was on my way home, and I just ran into Rachel after class.
Hey, are you all right? You're not feeling well, are you?
No, I'm all right. I can't seem to get my breath.
Well, listen, make it to the garage and I'll drive you home.
Okay. Rod, could I sit down for just a minute before you take me home? I don't want Norm to see me like this.
Oh, sure. Come on.
Thank you.
I'll get you some coffee.
Oh, don't bother, Rod. I'm fine, really.
Oh, well, I wish I could say the same about the coffee, but at least it'll warm you up. Listen, now Rachel's all right, isn't she? I mean, you saw her.
Oh, she wouldn't listen to me. She insisted on seeing Chandler.
Chandler?
I tried to get her not to, but you know Rachel, she's so stubborn. Well, she's trying to find out something about...
Don't talk. I'll get you some coffee. Here, now drink this. This'll help. Drink this. That's it. Well, she's not there now with him. I mean, she's gone, isn't she? That's good. That little fool. What is she doing? Why does she stick her neck out like that? What does she expect to find out from him?
Oh, she's trying to get him to talk about himself. I don't know. I called Dr. Rossi. He's gonna take her home. I don't feel...
Come on, Rita. You're gonna be all right. Rita, you're gonna be all right. Easy. You'll be fine. I promise.